Hi, beautifuls. Welcome back to my Chanel. And hello, little biscuit. How are you doing today? Are you ready to get some plastic surgery, girls?
Yeah, I can't wait to get a brow lift.
So, my lovelies, welcome back to another episode of Dr. 90210, girls. Literally, the only bastion of plastic surgery that we watch now on the Chanel, because I have exhausted all the other avenues of plastic surgery shows. Saying that, my lovelies, if you know of any other plastic surgery shows that you would like me to react to, I do have a little bit of a list, but I'm just looking for that extra joie de vivre.
She's educated.
That will help make it into an ongoing, pretty successful series here on the Chanel. What do you think, Biscuit?
No.
I don't actually have a top comment of the last episode of Dr. 90210, my loves, because lots of people shared some experiences with the medical professional industry in America of the medical profession. So apparently, the reason why Jill, one of the patients on the last episode, was rejected for surgery was because potentially Dr. Rey was terrified of being sued in case something happened. So the word lawsuit scares American doctors out of doing life-saving surgery for people. I mean, that's fairly dystopian, don't you think? I think that's a bit dystopian myself. Yes, Mr. Biscuit. Yes. In an interesting twist of fate, my lovelies, this series has been going on forever. We've been doing it for literally about a year at this point, but today's episode is the grand finale, girls, of season 1 of Dr. 90210, Biscuit. Yeah. The season finale is finally here. I don't know what we're gonna see. Unlike Janice Dickinson's modelling agency, this episode is the same length as all of the other episodes in the series. I'm actually quite excited to finish this series and then move on to perhaps a different type of plastic surgery show and then back for season 2.
Oh, dear God.
What do we think? Have we enjoyed the season so far? This show has really opened my eyes to a lot of the intricacies behind the scenes of plastic surgery. It's also given us a little tiny dose of reality TV in the shape of Dr. Rey doesn't like his family very much. No, little biscuit. No, imagine not loving your little biscuit. With that being said, my lovelies, I am back again on the Pepsi Max because I'm just not in the mood for caffeine at the moment. Also, isn't it warm? Oh, I'm so warm. It's so warm here in London that I have no interest in doing any of all that.
I'm melting! I'm melting!
All right, my little handsome boy. Do you want to sit on your little pillow whilst I scream on the internet about plastic surgery? Yeah. With that being said, my lovelies, why don't you pop your little ohrhanger right into your plastic surgery ohrhanger slit?
I'm sorry, what?
And let's watch Dr. 90210, Season 1, Episode 12, or at least the finale, girls. Are you ready? I don't know what we're going to see today. I have no idea. I hope it's good. Do you hope it's good? I hope it's good.
No.
Da 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 da, there's a woman in the mirror and she's got filler. She's a filler bitch on the go. Oh my god, in the last episode of Dr. 90210, we saw them go off to New Orleans to have a baby, and we were gonna find out about the baby, but then they were like, no, cliffhanger, girls, find out next week on Goiter. Right, here we are. Where are we? Where's this? Dr. Rey's house. She's got
gout. Airplane now. Let me just get my book. I forgot I need a book. This morning we're leaving for New Orleans, and we're just running around making sure we have everything.
Is that how you say it? New Orleans? Is that actually how you pronounce it? I always know it as New Orleans. New Orleans. New Orleans.
Cars here.
I think Billy crashed.
They're getting a car?
Well, I'm going to take care of that after this week.
Wait, they have to fly, surely.
Okay.
Do you have the tickets?
I have the itinerary.
I feel like I'm missing something. On the other hand, I feel like I have too much.
You don't need a briefcase, sweetie, actually.
Where's the dog going?
Professional, working empty-handed?
It was really supposed to be a business trip. I decided, let's make a trip out of this because it's not going to happen again for a long time. I need to sit down for a second, sweetie, because I'm about to go into labor. My obstetrician is not happy with me for going on this trip so close to, going into labor.
The hotel, unfortunately, has weak blow dry.
Yeah, shouldn't you, not travel whilst you're, heavily pregnant? Isn't that a thing of, don't get on a plane because the baby will have wings?
I don't know why.
It's really about me and my husband this trip. I'm just looking forward to doing that before I have the second baby.
It is kind of sad that this guy, who is very wealthy, on TV, constantly working, is going on a business trip, and it's been sort of converted into business and family, because I feel like there should be separate things, you know? For me, I mean, I don't own a surgery. I do work very hard, but I'm not a plastic surgeon. But if I'm going on a business trip, those are separate to my family events because there's something about being at work, like business trips are not like fun, really. They're very like, oh, this is actually like a laborious process I have to do. Whereas like sometimes the aspect of travel itself is really fun and you'll see somewhere new. You are there to do a task and it's not necessarily there to be like, cocktails in the pool, girls. Not that a heavily pregnant lady should be doing all that in the pond anyway. Very interesting behaviour. How would you feel if your significant other was like, I'm going on a business trip? Would you be like, wonderful, converted into a family holiday? Would you be like that? I don't think I would. It feels like Hailey really has to compete for like Dr. Rey's attention and it's so like, you shouldn't have to do that in a family dynamic. That's unhinged.
We live our lives in a rush.
I know.
Rush.
I like to work hard and I like to play hard. Take a fair amount of time off.
I like to spray sausages on the barbecue.
I love the balance I have right now. For me, that's what
I like to put roses up my nose.
This is my garden.
Now I live in the Hollywood Hills, maybe about 5 minutes from my office.
I like to go
I can
skydiving.
get into when I relax.
I'm really looking
I love the
forward
fact that everyone else had an activity and they were like, Dr. Elbow, what do you do to relax? It's like this photo of this pool.
Deranged.
going to a really nice restaurant with him.
Right.
Just the two of us.
We still have that
But what
crap
will you do with your
underneath
child
It's
and
not
dog?
crap. For the 100th
Yes,
time.
it really is crap.
It's not.
You know what I forgot? I forgot my Taekwondo tape. I knew I forgot something.
Where are you going to watch that? Don't bring the Taekwondo stuff. It's very common on vacations. He'll be packing his Taekwondo tapes, his Taekwondo shoes. I know in advance that I will not let him do these things because that's what a vacation is all about. He needs to relax. You really don't need shoes to practice anyways. I mean, this is getting stupid. Enough with the Taekwondo. It's really getting psychotic.
She really doesn't like any of his hobbies, does she? But I can sort of understand her frustration with like, you choose to do so many things that take your time away from me. Like, my dating history is filled with the most, muscular men you can ever imagine, and muscly men require time in the gym, and I realise that time in the gym is also very positive for mental health, for the way you feel, for the way you look. I also spend time in the gym, nowhere near as much as a muscle guy, obviously. But I would also feel a little bit like, okay, if you're doing like 7 hours in the gym every day, A, what are you doing for all 7 hours? And B, like, are you just trying to avoid me? And that is the essence I feel like Hailey is getting frustrated with. It almost feels like he's looking for ways to avoid his family responsibilities, and I would feel frustrated in that situation, even though it is coming across a little bit as like, oh, he's under the thumb, girls! I don't know. You know, do you agree with any of all that? Is that just a heat stroke plethora of nonsense I've vomited forth upon the internet in a microcosm of sneezing opinion?
What I'm trying to say is, if you choose to date a partner with specific interests, don't be surprised if they continue spending time on those interests.
Oh, New Orleans is an awesome town. People are friendly. It's just a happy place.
What is Mardi Gras? What is Mardi Gras? I know it's a festival, but like, what is it?
It's ketamine and MDMA.
What does it celebrate? What even is the Mardi Gras? Is it like outdoor party flower?
I wanted to show you that little
a
porcelain jar.
bouquet.
Today's our first day in New Orleans.
Is your gamer baby on a walk 'cause buggy?
Today's our first day in New Orleans, and my mother and I love to shop
sensible
for antiques.
bootcut
So,
jean.
what better place to do it than in New Orleans?
Wait, what? Why is her mum here?
My mother and I love to shop for antiques, so what better place to do it than in New Orleans?
Is New Orleans known for its antiques? I guess maybe it is. It's quite a historical place.
This is after.
Louisiana.
I was doing the furniture, but I'm afraid the furniture is too expensive.
Sweetheart, please.
The chandelier!
Our whole house
Candelabra!
is all going to be done in.
Oh, £14,000.
It's a mere 25,000. Maybe we put it in the basement. All these fancy operations, all big practice, so on and so forth. Family first.
There are times where I've said to him, you know, why can't you just have a 9-to-5 job like everyone else? So that I could
Because
actually...
then, Hailey, you wouldn't have all the fabulous lifestyle. No. There is swings and roundabouts when it comes to attraction and the kind of person you date. If you date a high-flying CEO businessman who's never in the country, then you have to be prepared for him to never be in the country. I feel like sometimes there needs to be some sort of like realistic expectations about relationships, but also I understand that like, going through a pregnancy, well, not from personal experience, obviously, I never will do, I never plan to, I never want to, but I do understand hormonal fluctuations, and is there any more process that a human body can go through than hormonal fluctuations during pregnancy? I don't think. So I can understand the, like, emotional changes that happen when you go through a huge emotional and hormonal change, where you require more sort of, like, what's the word? Like, reassurance and love and care and affection and attention. You know, you are going through this big thing, so it is kind of weird how constantly we do see this man be like, what? What do you mean I can't bring my Taekwondo VHS? What do you mean I have to look at you whilst you're pregnant? What do you mean? Like, just pay attention. Pay attention to your family, sir.
We see him. He's my best friend.
When our children were younger, I always took time off when they were on vacation because I felt that was important, and I had the ability to do it because I could basically schedule my work.
Yes. Yes? Do we agree? Yes.
Let's go this way, sweetie. I think this is our guy right over here.
Not a horse and pink carriage.
Finally, Robert's taking me out for a romantic night alone together.
Tonight, we're going to the Victor
Oh, I see. Is Mummy the babysitter?
Ritz-Carlton Hotel.
It was just so nice to be alone with him, but at the same time, I kept looking around for Sydney. It's so strange to leave her behind. I feel like Sydney should be sitting here.
No, where's Sydney? Where's Sydney?
I know, I'm like, it's empty.
Interesting. The Ritz-Carlton.
That's
Oh,
really
we can't see his
nice.
face. Blurred for
And then we
purposes.
go to Victor's, which is a renowned restaurant I knew I had wanted to try.
At the right time.
We heard lots about you, Dr. Ray and my wife,
Thank you
Haley.
so much.
We have a beautiful table prepared for you.
Oh, that's what I heard. Thank you very, very much.
What
you're
big
welcome.
on television gets you.
And there's rooms named after characters in the Tennessee Williams play, Streetcar Named Desire. So we were in the Desire room.
Oh.
It was nice, very nice.
Desire.
Very good.
Sniff
We
yourself.
complement each other. I'm hard science, and you have all the
Warm
arts and
to the touch.
But you have a lot of art too, though.
And Sydney seems to be taking over the science and the art.
Okay, it is interesting when you sit in a restaurant like next to each other because it feels a little bit like canteen. I've been to a few places that have done this with me and Louis where like you'll get like a corner seat or something. I feel like it's not quite as romantic unless you're like opposite each other and can really like enjoy the conversation and not feel like you have to go like this, like, hello, yeah, do you like that? No.
Hello.
It feels very odd to sit next to the person you're at dinner with. I don't know. Would you agree? Is that just maybe like an ADHD thing that I'm like, no?
Artistic moments.
That all we're going to talk about is Sydney Sullivan.
Typical
First
parents.
night in so long that we have together alone.
Typical parents. You get away and.
So my mom's talking about moving.
Oh my God.
How nice.
A salad with 14 condiments. Oh yeah, just shove them in there, girls.
Thank you. I wonder what Sydney's doing now.
That does look really good. Those croutons look crunch.
You know, wondering if I should call her.
I think I brought the phone.
So we're not used to the way we used to be. So it took a good hour through the meal for me to completely unwind. And then once we had some good food, then it was like old times. They did such a great job
This is
helping
kind of awkward.
with our romantic night. I feel bad for Sydney because she loves these little baby kids. We could be our crazy selves the way we were before we were
How
married.
many lamps does one table need? 3 lamps.
Baby kids. We could be our crazy selves the way we were before we were married. And
Crazy! She's just so wacky. Gotta be crazy to work here, girl.
My Haley, thank you for everything.
To my
I tell you,
beautiful Haley,
we've
thank you
been-
for everything. Aww.
It was so nice to see this beautiful dessert brought out. I said to my beautiful wife, Haley, thank you for everything. It was just,
Aw.
it's nice because
And he was gonna go on a business trip in which none of this was gonna happen.
sometimes I know we're both so busy, he doesn't have time to say
Is
it all
that
the time.
production?
It's the best, you know.
She is heavily
All the
pregnant
stuff
now.
we've been through and the long hours and taking care of Sydney and
That's so nice of you. Thank you, sweetie.
you're welcome.
Dr. 90210, the dessert is in the tree. Beautiful. Oh, the trolley goes clang, clang, clang. What's that? Meet you in St. Louis? Is that what it is? St. Louis?
See how thick it is there, the flap? Yeah, you can see
Oh,
the
yes, of
thickness
course.
it.
I forget. He was going here to learn new plastic surgery techniques, wasn't he? Oh, my God. Look at the JVC Anybody here have a JVC back in the day? So this is like 2009, 2010 time. Is it that? No, I think it's earlier than that, isn't it? I had one of these on like the turn of the millennium. And then my mum had one in like the early 90s because my mum used to film me every single day. And then we would do like a roundup of the week on cassette tape of what we did that week, kind of like a podcast. I've basically been doing this my whole life.
Yeah. Today I'm meeting with Dr. Messia to learn his new facelift procedure.
There's no
New
cuts
facelift.
behind ear. My name is Hamid Masiha. I'm a plastic surgeon. I like to innovate new techniques as much
Oh,
as
she's
I
on the
can.
PowerPoint.
Very nice.
I am here trying to make a facelift to the smallest possible cuts.
I wouldn't go past the anterior border of the parotid gland.
Robert is continuously learning in his field. I actually try to get him to slow down, but in a way for me, on this trip, I wanted him just to relax a little bit.
Yeah, but this is primarily a work trip that you have made into a family holiday, so it is kind of a shame that this is the situation that's happened, because clearly Hayley needs some affection and attention and like some reassurance, and Dr. Rey is a bit like, bye! And I feel like she's following him a little bit to be like, please, just a crumb of your love. And he's like, have this cake on a plate. Oh, the trolley girls. The zoo. Urban de Burla Zoo. Galloping.
Look at him. Oh, can Sydney do that?
Oh, I hate monkeys.
Look at that.
No.
Robert, when he's finished doing the surgery with Dr. Messia, he'll be meeting up with us. Look at the other
No, I
one
don't like
watching.
that.
Say hi.
No, thank you.
Oh, he wants to come
Aw.
over and see you, Sydney. How do I get over there to see that little girl and give her a big kiss?
I love watching Sydney have so much fun. That's, the most fun I ever have is watching her just go crazy and having a good time.
Crazy! She's gone crazy, girls. See that monkey? She went wild.
Get to spend much time together.
I try to do what she
They've
wants me
interviewed
to.
her in like 8 different positions, 8 different scenes, and 8 different timelines in order to like splice that sentence together.
Things get a little bit better if I spend time with her.
Okay, come.
Sarah.
Our incision here.
Yeah, things get a little bit better if I spend time with her.
Who's Sarah? Have I missed something? Things get a bit better when I spend time with Sarah. Who's Sarah?
I feel we really need to do as a family. I know sometimes it seems we don't get to spend much time together.
I try to do what she wants me to do. Things get a little bit better if I spend time with her.
Who's Sarah?
Okay,
Oh, there she is.
Our incision here would be in the sideburn.
Right. Meanwhile,
And in
back
front
at the
of the ear
hacienda.
and right slightly behind the ear. So it would
So this is an ear.
incision we will have.
Dr. Messia
This is a facelift
has
that involves
an
the
awesome
ear.
idea. I'm bringing to Beverly Hills
bringing the outside
an
in.
operation which is 5 years ahead of its time.
Oh.
I'll be one of the few guys in the world that does this operation. Imagine doing a facelift with a mini scar. Most facelifts are a huge scar. It's ugly.
You're always innovating yourself.
Is this the like early pioneer development of, is it the mid-ribbon lift? Is that what it's called? Where you just do this little, like from here down to here. Is that what that is? I wonder.
So you are having to come up with different ideas. During the surgery, during the sculpting process, things evolve. There's a need, so you have to come up with an answer.
Yes.
I mean, look how little that incision is.
They are
A
only
tiny,
spread.
tiny woman.
When I pull
Oh,
back and close and spread it
liposuction
in.
on the jaw,
In 2
girls.
weeks, these people are completely ready. If they're movie star, they could start shooting the pictures. Basically, now most of the surgery is over.
The future of cosmetic surgery is positive. There are going to be more treatments available to accomplish what used to require major procedures.
The techniques have to be better. We have to deserve the clientele that we have, and that's what I've sort of built up over the last 30 years. I'm deserving of the people who come to me.
It is kind of weird. The like business side of being a plastic surgeon and having a plastic surgery practice is so like bizarre to me. I don't know, because it's kind of advertised as like a product, but like the product is you. So it's a bit like, I don't know, I find that whole concept just really strange. Even now, after I've gone through my own, I've like obviously spoken to companies and had consultations through people's advertising and like other people's referrals. It's just really strange to see like all the doctors together like this. Facelift, girls, get a brow lift today.
Time for a brow lift.
Like, it's just odd. I don't think I'll ever be used to it. Oh, can we leave the zoo, please? I love animals. I'm not a huge fan of monkeys.
I don't know if I can do this anymore. Want to sit down somewhere for a few minutes?
The little ones are okay.
It's getting too hard for me to walk
dear.
around for that length of time.
Oh,
I was
dear.
very tired. I needed to sit down a lot.
Is it baby time?
Baby's so heavy now that it's, I worry about that.
Some days I'm like, I've got cramps and I'm feeling like, okay, today's the day or tomorrow it's going to happen.
Yes. Nearly
You have a video of your work, do you? And look at this. See? See? This man's been working out. Let me see those knuckles. The martial artist.
No, I don't have any knuckles.
Yeah, see how developed these knuckles are? This is from crashing through boards. Dr. Luxeria was a wonderful surprise. He's a martial artist, just like I am. The martial arts teaches you the dexterity that you need to be a great surgeon. A lot of similarities.
I'm sure flower arranging can also do that.
Someone's looking in a mirror.
Hi, sweetie. You are? You're on your way to the zoo? Robert was actually done early enough and called my cell phone and met us there.
Aww. Goodness.
I was so
like a
happy
boy
when
band
Robert showed
member.
up because I missed him all day when he
Is that the same camera he's just recorded the surgery on? So he's like, oh, look at the lady's ear. Oh, beautiful giraffe.
She's dead.
Do you want to obtain kisses from that animal?
Well, he bites.
He bites? Okay.
I've never seen one run like that.
That's how they get away from the lions, huh? I always think these things couldn't move. Right here.
Do they fight lions?
Be
Does that happen?
careful. That's it.
Do giraffes fight lions? Why has this broken my brain?
Party's over.
All right. Pull your child in the trolley.
After the zoo, we went to Brennan's.
The music is so like
great restaurant in
vaudeville.
New Orleans.
My dress goes New Orleans is very
non-stop.
theatrical. isn't it?
That's too bad you're going back.
Lots of Finding Nemo things everywhere.
I'm tired. I think
Is it like 22 years since Finding Nemo came out? Something like that? Or is it 20 years? Isn't that just absolutely harrowing information? Isn't it awful?
Oh, that's terrible. Thank you.
my expectations in New Orleans were surpassed, but I'm ready to go back. Vacations
Right,
are tiresome. The shopping, the tours, and, of course, being a father, it's a little bit taxing too.
The importance of this trip was for Robert and I to spend some alone time before this baby's born. And going for a romantic dinner was the main thing for me.
I mean, you didn't really have to do that in New Orleans.
The most wonderful thing about vacation is as soon as you get done, you go home and rest.
That is kind of true. Vacations and holidays are not
About 2 o'clock in
restful, are they? No, they're usually quite intense experiences. Dr. 90210, let's have a romantic dinner in the tree. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Robbie's gonna sleep in the bassinet.
Oh, right, they're back. Oh, look
And
at
I
the
don't have
chevaliers.
In
the
there.
bassinet. Baphomet.
It's not set up yet, it's in the plastic. The last time I was at the obstetrician, she told me that the baby has dropped. So it looks like it's gonna be happening any day now.
Any moment. A baby. Oh, sunrise, sunset. Here we go.
All of a
1
sudden, I
a.m.
was just woken up with this, contractions coming on every 5 minutes. And that's when I woke Robert up and said, oh my gosh, I'm definitely in labor. We need to go to the hospital
What a
now.
finale.
And I went straight
off
to
we
labor
go,
and
girls.
delivery.
A baby.
And 14 hours later,
14 hours.
Robbie was born.
Robbie, the baby. Robert Ray the Third.
15 ounces. Oh, hear him?
15
You hear him?
ounces. A flip phone and a baby.
So cute. About 5,000 surgeries. This is the first time I've ever gotten nervous.
Oh, is that the umbilical cord?
I was actually afraid of having a boy. I didn't really know how to relate to a boy. My dad was not really present. I mean, do you hug them? Do you kiss them? Do you keep away from them? I didn't know what to do. All my worries were for naught. The moment I held that little boy, there was nothing to worry about. Nature led me the way. Oh, welcome to the world. How are you?
Bring them. One,
You look a little bit funny, huh? Because you passed through the birth canal. As you know, we share names.
I'm going to be child-free for life.
He is Robert Michael Ray III. It's kind of nice because I'm handing the baton to him. And now he runs with it.
Is he
and
going
he
to do
can,
brow lifts?
The stars are the limit.
See how natural you are with the son? I told you. When I see
Goodness
Robert
me.
with Robbie, I just feel so happy for what's going to come in the future. Robert hasn't had any male role models in his life.
He's so young.
Right. Is that a good thing? No, that's not a good thing, is it? No.
We're giving him some formula now. As Robbie grows up, they're gonna just be such good friends, and Robert will have the chance to do all the things he didn't get to do with his father.
quiet!
Hi, girls!
A baby!
How are you?
Okay, so the child has a younger brother.
You want to see baby Robbie?
The
Sydney's
child.
gotten so used to being the main star around
spider?
here that
Lovely.
to share the stage, I think, has been difficult for her.
Did you want to take kisses from Robbie?
That's your little brother.
That's your brother.
Baby.
She's a little distant. I think she'll grow out of it.
I mean, babies are frightening. Babies are frightening to anyone. Like, literally, the most delicate creature on the planet. Oh dear.
1 o'clock in the morning, and now I'm trying to figure out how to work the car seat.
Oh dear, technology.
Lower anchors on your car. What lower anchors on our car? Do we have lower anchors on our car? What are lower anchors?
Oh, technology, no. I don't want to do any of all this. This seems stressful as hell.
It was a nightmare after we were exhausted. Finally leaving, 2 o'clock in the morning, and headed home.
Goodness me. A baby is born! Dr. 90210! A baby! Right, okay. Rodeo Drive, Versace girls!
You've lost some of the baby fat, and that's what happens is
baby.
the moment we turn 35 and 40, so I'm replenishing the volume, mimicking the baby fat you used to have and you've lost it. It's
the opposite of buccal fat removal.
The product is called Restylane.
A little bit of filler.
I'm going to be able to rejuvenate the face, and that's the goal. I love my profession, and I think there's always going to be
nasolabial filler, cheek filler,
as long
perhaps.
as it's done to improve
Profiler, we would call it now,
the image of the self. So,
whatever you say, doctor.
Every face is different. Everybody's needs are different.
So I am injections, girl. So I am very much on a weight loss journey right now, and I am noticing the older that I get, the weight that I lose immediately comes from here and here, which is fine. I don't mind it, but I also want my body to lose a little bit more in specific areas without losing too much of this or this. And I know you can't really pick and choose that. But I'll probably be booking a little visit into my little filler lady and being like, excuse me, can we just have a little something here so I don't look quite so gaunt, please?
She's dead.
Thank you. This is where I get a bit like, back in the day, people were like,
oh no, you got to grow old gracefully, no.
There's no, never, unrelatable, no, I'm gonna look like this until the day I leave this mortal coil at 97 years old. Could you imagine? I don't think the world will even be here when I'm 97.
Lady Gaga.
Die.
Everything I do is different from one patient to another. I could do 20 lips in one day. I could do 3 noses in a day. I could do, but they're all different, and that's where the excitement is. Look at the difference already.
Oh, yes,
so
nasolabial fold.
Heaven. So look at the strangular depression.
Absolutely wild.
In 5 years, I'm going to be doing exactly the same thing. I love what I do. I think.
Do you know, I have often thought about adding on to the human physiology part of my biochemistry degree, and also like trying to learn how to do fillers, how to do Botox, how to do all these sorts of things. They're very exciting to me because they're so transformative, and all the dolls would come to me, obviously.
For another 15, 20 years, I just love my work. I love it.
If I could go back, I think I would add medicine into my degree.
Nice.
I think something like this helps self-esteem an awful lot.
100%.
It's so worth it.
It is so worth it. It's a really cost-effective way to make you feel lovely. It's not anywhere near as expensive as plastic surgery.
Come in here and take some photos.
Okay.
Good.
Oh, what's happening
Easy,
now?
just like before
Dr.
surgery.
Kettler.
Yeah, I'll have you stand there for
Is that wallpaper? That is the busiest office I've ever seen. That is a wardrobe with wallpaper, but books, library wallpaper.
Okay. What do I want at this point in my career?
What do we
and
want
the
to
answer is I want to have the same
When do we
satisfaction that
want
I've
to
had for the
round
last
it?
27 years. And I could very comfortably finish out my career.
Oh, that's the phenol peel
performing
we saw
essentially
earlier
the
in
same
the season.
spectrum that I'm performing now. And that would be nice.
That would be nice, yes. To continue being able to do what you're doing now.
You told me that they were going to have an escalator here.
There is, but you have to have a pass. I'd like to have a well-rounded life. I don't want to be narrow. I've enjoyed traveling. I've enjoyed many recreational opportunities. If I had to define the 3 things I do in life, they are work, study, and have fun.
Okay. Makes sense to me. work, study, and have fun. That's basically my life.
This is my day today.
That's your day.
Dr. Elbow!
Okay, get my vitamins out. I really immensely enjoy what I do. I can't imagine doing anything in this world more fulfilling than making people's dreams come true and making them look the way they want to. I'm gonna go in the OR. I can't see myself stopping, although I am planning to retire sometime in the future and spend more time with my family.
Do you know he worked for another 10 years?
Or possibly just sitting on a beach playing Jimmy Buffett
records,
my
goodness.
Drinking a pina colada and looking for my last shaker of salt.
Dr. Rey's house, there's a baby. Scream, scream, scream.
Get this wet blanket.
Oh, I don't want to watch nappies.
Get this wet blanket out from under you. It's okay, little guy. What's going to happen next for us? Well, we have quite a little schedule going now with Robert. He wants to come home really early now.
Lucy, oh, you look beautiful.
Thank you. He really can be home.
Is it the post-baby glow? Is that a thing? People have baby glows, pregnancy glows.
Christy, they want to know when they're supposed to come back because she's part of the adjunct study.
We have a successful Beverly Hills practice. Now what?
My dream for him would be to have a partner. But the thing is with Robert, he needs to be in control, and I don't know if he's willing to relinquish part of his practice to someone else. Probably not for the next few years.
Is this the end? We've seen baby and it's like, oh, tying up all the stories of this episode, girls.
Plan of life. With marriage, God teaches you the final lesson, and that lesson is unconditional love.
Except if you want to watch a Taekwondo VHS.
I understand what that means. No matter what my son does, I will always love him to death. And that's a lesson I needed to learn.
Did you not learn that with your first child? Or your wife, perhaps? Or yourself?
What's the matter with my big boy?
Into the night. Oh, the moon. The same one that appears on America's Next Top Model. There she is, yeah. The multiverse. Ah! Well, that's the end of the season, my lovelies. That was a bit less intense than I thought it was going to be, but I still have some thoughts. So, my lovelies, I apologise. I am being visited by a heavenly light. I have to have all the windows and curtains open because I'm so boiling hot today. Suddenly, it's 27 degrees. And it's very humid. She's a moist woman. So, my loves, I have some thoughts about what we've seen today. As far as season finales go, this was tame. Tame. There wasn't any drama. There wasn't any, manufactured nonsense. There wasn't any, will she steal the crown? It was just, let's tie up all the things we've seen earlier in the series and perhaps revisit some things. I still find the concept of going to New Orleans on a business trip being converted into a family holiday, I find that a bit odd. I think it's because if someone in my life was like, we're going to make this a family holiday, I'd be like, no, I need to work. Maybe it is because she was literally going to have a baby. We don't know how soon after they came back she had Robert Rey III, but it seems like it was pretty close together. Maybe a couple of weeks or so. Because Hayley did mention earlier in the episode that her obstetricist was upset that she's going away. But I did find it odd that, Mum also went on the vacation. So, yeah. Did they just get a car? I didn't see any. Did you see any planes? We just saw some B-roll of planes. Maybe they didn't fly? I'm not sure. How far is LA from New Orleans? I feel like it's a very long way. Couldn't just walk, could you? Well, my lovelies, let me know what you think about what we've seen in today's episode of Dr. 90210, because it's been an interesting one. We saw a swift glimpse at, this is how you learn a new technique that might become industry standard. And that was about it. No other real surgeries, just mostly behind the magic of what being a plastic surgeon is. And I'm always interested of learning that sort of vibe. I think it's very easy to see the work that plastic surgeons do and think that, that's kind of it, that's all they do. But it's easy to forget that they are people as well. So, my loves, let me know what you think about what we've seen in today's episode. I'm very excited to start season 2. Let me know if you know of any other plastic surgery type shows that you would like me to react to. I do want to say, though, I don't think I'm going to do Botched. I might do a little bit. Maybe a couple of one-off specials. But Botched has a very interesting dynamic, and I'm not sure Not sure yet? Convince me in the comments box below.
No.
And with that, my lovelies, it's time for the Patreons. You can see yourself scrolling past on the screen right here. Yes, you can. And as always, I want to say a massive thank you to my top tier Patreons. Orcos Samoji, Beebles32, Shell Herman, Christy Crownover, Christina Kyle, ContraPoints, Danielle, Elizabeth Stone, Eric Castillo, Fable and Flourish, Jamie Clark, Jen Martin, Jenabeth Herman, Jinwoo Choi, Caitlin Wright, Laura Jane, Les Banana, Lizette Cares, Millie Hammond, Min Min TM, Mariah Sherman, Novembrix, Paolo Rivera, Rubik's Stock Co, Ryan Vita, Slampire Queen, Steffi Tech, The Chaos Collective, Victoria Corella, and Zoe Sevier. And you know what, my loves? I'm gonna leave it on the notes of... And you know what, my lovelies? I think I'm gonna leave it on the note of, if you feel yourself getting a little bit separated from your significant other and you still have all the emotions and everything invested in the relationship, take a second and just consider that they might want to spend some more time with you. And you can always find more time to do the things that we love. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Yes, Mr. Biscuits.